Hey guys, how you guys doing? It is Anna back with another video, and today, yes, seen the title, we're gonna take a look at Taiwan MapleStory actually won the Guinness World Records over here for the largest human image of a mushroom over here. By 3,000 players patiently actually created this over here, right? That's the good part. Well, the bad part, yeah, that's another story. We're gonna take a look at that in a bit over here, right? So yes, those players that actually participate actually got a certificate in recognition of your participation in the largest human image of mushroom held in New Taipei City, Taiwan on 2nd August in the MapleCon of 2025 Taipei. Okay, yeah, and actually at first I did not want to make this video because I want to understand the context and everything, because my friend was actually here and he was actually complaining to me on that day. So he was complaining to me like what happened, and I actually did not expect it to be that bad until I watched this video itself, the entire live stream, right? This player actually live streamed the entire stream itself. It was actually really bad. And then the next day, a group of players actually messaged me about what happened over here, and yeah, it was actually really bad. And they wanted overseas players to actually know that what's happening, because Guinness World Record is a good thing, but another thing is that the host. Okay, so two issues over here. The hosts and the organizers did a really bad job on planning and as well as executing the lines. Yes, the host was actually very disrespectful to the players, and a lot of players were uncomfortable, and all those players over here was actually very crowded, because imagine 3,000 players in this and it's super crowded. They have to be super patient in order to achieve this world record, and all the players over here were actually very cooperative. But one thing that was saddened about this, the hosts, but they did have a apology over here I mentioned by the team itself that gave sauna tickets as well as the VIP boosters and also royal hair coupon over here, 10 of them. Yeah, so let's take a look at what's run down. Okay, now links in the description to all this post over here, and I did cross-check some of the facts over here because I did have a voice call with my friend, understand like, okay, what is really going on, right? But this post over here kind of concise of almost everything. Okay, so I'm gonna just translate this post to let you guys understand what's going on. For those of you guys who know how to read traditional Chinese, please go ahead. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip this part over here. I'm just gonna go through this part. From the moment that the player bought the ticket for this 20th anniversary offline event, the player had a pessimistic view of that day would be chaotic, because the players cursed and lashed out and earnestly urged that various procedures should be announced earlier, and pointed out that there were problems were likely to occur and should be improved. Unfortunately, the organizers turned to a deaf ear to it, as expected. Today, that very day, right, everyone has to suffer. All the players who bought a ticket to enter the venue, and the most ridiculous thing is that the players did not expect not only would they suffer physically, but they also suffer mentally. Physically as in you gotta queue outside for super long time, for hours over there under the hot sun, and mentally is the MC itself. Okay, take a look at the MC. Everyone has witnessed how the organizers delayed announcing the giveaway and the serial numbers. Yes, entering to the place, you need you gotta get the goodie bag, and you also get a serial number. Okay, and how they were unclear about the tickets refund. So I'm not going into details over as for the disputes surrounding queuing and receiving the giveaway, I'll address them later. Yeah, so the following filled with words that may cause a stroke. If you have high blood pressure, high sugar level, or high cholesterol, please refrain from reading this. So in this post, this was roughly what the player heard. If there was anything wrong, he or she did not record it verbally without an audio. So if the host feels like the player misinterpreted, then he misinterpreted. Oh, okay, and I apologize. So yeah, and then there was also a post over here that the host herself actually wrote a long description of explaining what happened. Okay, so do you want to see what the host mentioned head over to this thing, head over here. Now, the story begins, okay, on the day of the flow. The player belonged to the group 1377 to 1876. So all the players were given a number when entering, and then they were given a covered up hoodie. Alright, so that's where you create the mushroom itself. After a chaotic morning, entering and getting a wristband, and as well as queuing for a t-shirt, finally around noon, they managed to make it to the event. And then the event has air condition. Outside does not have air condition. Okay. Following the instructions, the player arranged the outline of the mushroom itself. Okay, the mushroom image. Just when everyone thought that they could finally enjoy the air condition, and little do they know that it was a nightmare to begin. Soon, everyone noticed that the female host, the MC itself, was making strange remarks. She kept using the strange sounds, terms like, okay, this is a little bit more to Chinese, right? 古典 and all that. It's more like, okay, if you misinterpret it, or it could be meaning like a dick, you know, your dick head, your dick tip and stuff, you know, that type of remarks over there, right? This is how it translated it. And then it makes it feels very, you know, obscene. And there's some parts that also mention about the female part of the, yeah, it's very bad. Okay, and she attempt to saying that the mushroom tongue itself was wet, because this one, yeah, very weird stuff. And many players in the group suspect that the female host has a tendency to make obscene jokes. Okay, but of course at that time everyone still thought that it was funny and exaggerating as a hosting style, which was weird but tolerable. But however, the female host subsequently remarks made it difficult to dispel the suspicion that she lacked awareness of gender equality, because the host would ask any player if they are single. If found that the players of the opposite sex is standing together, they would ask that if they are a couple. If the couple were too far apart, they will ask the host, they will ask them where are they seated. Okay, and if two boys were standing next to a girl, they will ask which one is her partner. Okay, is it online or offline? You know, yeah. If they found out that the opposite sex did not know each other, the host would ask the male player that, hey, you can stand shoulder to shoulder to this girl, and then the female player said she had a boyfriend. It was somewhere else, and then the host actually mocked her boyfriend, saying that the girlfriend would stand shoulder to shoulder to someone else here, you know. And the one who was not loved in a third party scene, you know, the girls were surrounded by boys over there, and he said like, oh, this part is actually a little bit mistranslated, but this part is actually meaning that you know, gangbang. Yeah, so a lot of guys surrounding the girls, you know, one girl itself. It has been a while since you were surrounded by so many men. Yeah, so it was actually really demoralizing, yeah, on the player itself, because the camera actually zoomed to the players as well. If the player did not respond, she would say that the player has no interest in she would say that no players has no interest in girls. So like some of the players that actually don't really care, just want to go on with the event. And this kind of statement is disrespectful for both genders. This part you gotta read it in Chinese over here, because he mentioned that it is amazing that the host can disrespect both genders at the same time. Okay, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. Now, so the female host seems to have forgotten that she's actually hosting. She was actually hosting a get-together, not a social gathering or finding a partner or matchmaking session. She kept telling players, you can get to know the next player next to you, right? Next time, if the kids ask you how you met, and you say that, oh, we met at an offline event, as everyone was digging their toes in embarrassment. This is more of a phrase like, you know, when you're so embarrassed, your legs just cramp like that. It's like, and a lot of players were actually cursing in the group chat, saying that the female host boldly declared that, also saying that, I'm gonna harass the female players. It's like, what the hell? and then she grabbed a female player and she did not demand her ID. I actually watched the video, so she did not demand the ID. It's just that the player gave her the ID itself, but because she did not want to give her the real name, and then the host itself demanded, right, the camera to actually zoom to her face until she found a boyfriend. This actually went out for like 5 minutes. If you watch the stream in the video, you can actually see the scene that it was actually zoomed and it was run on for 5 minutes, and it was actually really bad. Yeah, if I were that person, I would be like, I don't know. Some players cannot take it and they might cry or something. Right? Yeah. Honestly, this was truly if this was truly a social gathering, such a disrespectful host would have been met with widespread criticism. Not to mention that the recent spate of incidents involving women's safety. As a female host, she didn't realize the potential threat of arbitrarily reviewing females' personal information. Yeah, and she was just attending an offline event, suddenly being investigated, right? And yeah, I think some male members also asked for ID. Yeah, seeing this, do you think that only women are being criticized? No, actually not. So if you watch the video itself, this also mentioned single men were being laughed at. No, the female host seeing a chubby male player and will ask that how many months pregnant are you? Okay, and she even asked this question more than one player. Irony, there was actually a pregnant woman at the event. Imagine a pregnant woman was at the event. How supportive that is. That's some crazy shit. And the player was actually blocked by the crowd and couldn't see the interview at first. The player thought that a female host was interviewing a pregnant woman until a male voice was answered, right? And the player actually realized that she was engaging with body discrimination over here. Okay, so actually the player was having a backpack in front, and yeah, that's why it makes it look like there's a bump. Yeah. Then the embarrassing comments didn't stop there. The female host also made the following inappropriate remarks over here, asking that the players if their mother knew if they were here. Do you feel embarrassed to be here? Okay, this actually was hitting me to the heart as well, because I don't like hosts asking me that, hey, do you know that you are here? Like, does your parents know that you are here? No, bro, we are already adults. Why are you asking these stupid questions over here, right? And then she also asked the guests if they were from art stream or science stream. Then she will make like those discriminatory remarks about the group of people. Okay, and during the interview, she said that if the player didn't answer that meet her standard, she will continue to ask the player's question until she was satisfied with the answer. And the above was what the players heard, and other present relayed this message. And before our group entered to the venue, the female host made a following bizarre remark. Upon entering, the host will actually ask players how many colors are there in the mushroom itself. Right? If they answer incorrectly, the host will ask them to get out. Okay, this one, the host also vowed in her apology that if she told the players to get out, there will be a serious car accident or even death to the MC herself. Like, what? Okay. And a player was standing crookedly due to illness, and the host asked, why are you standing so crookedly? So it was due to yeah. And at 12:03, the player was actually angry and very shaken. The player wanted to rush out and just tell her to keep her mouth shut, right? Grab the microphone, but the player was actually surrounded by the crowd. Unfortunately, the host announced that because our player's position need to be adjusted, it would take a long time. Yes, and they were allowed to go to the bathroom, so they had a break. It was a break session over there. Everybody runs through the bathroom, and the player actually immediately broke through the crowd and went directly to the host itself to protest. And this is what the player actually mentioned though. The comments now full of sexism and body discrimination. Female gamers here, I'm here to find boyfriend. male gamers here aren't here to socialize. Don't portray us as we have mating anxiety or stuff. And we bought tickets here to participate because we love MapleStory, and we couldn't accept such insult. So the player urged the MC to apologize to everyone. Yeah, this is actually the MC. I'm not gonna ask anybody which one, okay? But the female host and the female staff beside just smiled unwillingly the mistake that actually did. Now, around a little bit of time, the break time ended, right? Apparently due to the protests and criticism from the group and actually from the forums itself, this forum, okay? The female host casually brushed off her earlier inappropriate remarks, and the female host actually mentioned perhaps the players are a little bit shy behind the computers, and the question just now embarrassed them. And she did not actually give a formal apology over here. Okay, yeah. And later on, yeah, Mr. W over here is actually the project manager, so-called project manager of TMS. Okay, he went on the big screen, also arranging the mushroom size, which is this one. Okay, and the player actually decided to go to him personally if this style was actually approved by the publisher itself, Gamania. Okay, and then the host actually apologized again, but still did not admit her remarks were inappropriate, just saying that the players were shy. Then all the players actually nearly waited for like 2 hours to actually adjust the size over here, right? And then to make sure that everyone do not squat down, do not use their phone, do not pull up their head, do not look up, because that will actually have a dent in the image itself. So everybody was very cooperative. All the players were very cooperative, even though there were MC criticizing them. So yeah, this is like kudos to all the players. This is insane. At 1 p.m, almost 2 p.m, the camera actually panned to the project manager over there, and he apologized, saying that players who had been interviewed will receive a small gift. Okay, the host itself did not apologize. Now around later on, right, everybody finally finished queuing for it and to get the certificate. All right, so a bunch of players lined up to get their serial number and gifts they didn't have to get earlier. And yeah, and this was actually crazy because one of my friend actually did not get his own character card, because after you get your survey, you also get a character card over here, and this character card, they cannot find the character card. Okay, and they said that they're gonna mail it to them. And oh yeah, he mentioned something about a photo taking session as well. I don't know, I think it's not written here, but he mentioned about something about photo taking session, that everybody was already very tired, right, wanted to squat, and then they said, oh, let's take another photo. And I was like, what? Everything was very unorganized, and it was really bad. And then okay, so this one is actually what the player mentioned, that even because in this event is a MapleCon, so they do have players made merch over there to sell. So this is one of the MapleCon store that actually made the player merch. They even put this is 最尾段, it's the last of the queue, right? But MapleStory themselves officially didn't even make this. Okay, so yeah, and then at 3 p.m, the player actually saw the project manager and actually approached, saying that the dissatisfaction over here, and yeah, I actually got the human rights and everything over here. Yeah, and then yeah, so there was a lot going on, and the project manager actually mentioned that yes, he has been letting the, what do you call this, the female host, right, was scolding the female host for half an hour and all that, and hence why there was a post about that. Yeah, this is basically the stuff. Yeah, and yeah, it was actually really bad. So you guys can actually read about all this over here in this post. It was actually really bad, and when my friend told me it was like that, I did not expect it to be that bad. But after looking at this thread over here, and when he actually mentioned to me what happened, it was actually really bad, really bad. So yeah, get this cert. We got the Guinness World Record over here, but all the players were traumatized, and he was actually standing really near to the host, so he was really afraid that he got like caught in the interview itself. So yeah, it was actually really bad. But overall, there's also a MapleCon over here, another post, and this are the cosplayers. The links in the description. It was actually really nice to see all these players over here, even though that was despite the host was actually really bad, but it was a really nice event. Everybody had fun, all these cosplayers over here, all this stuff. And yeah, Double cosplay is amazing. Look at all these players. Wow, this is amazing. And of course, Mr. W. Yes, Mr. W is this guy over here, right? The project manager, right? So yeah, all this is amazing. You can have a look at all their links over here of them cosplaying, right? All this. So yeah, it was an amazing thing, right? I wanted to go, but I didn't have. Time was not right. Okay, time was not right for me to go. But yeah, it is considered first MapleCon in TMS, I would say. And this Guinness World Record for 3,000 players is actually insane, and it's actually really insane that all the players actually turn up to attend this. They have to pay their own expenses, $500, 520. I think the cert as well. So it's actually really insane. Okay, this is really insane. Kudos to all the players, and yeah, this is the result of all their hard work over here. Okay, yeah, amazing. Give a huge clap to all the players, everybody. This is absolutely amazing work over here. Alright, okay, so that's basically it for this video, and I hope that future events, okay, that's better hosts in that sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, and forgot one thing. The female host, after the remarks and everything, she actually had a very normal hosting session. So my friend mentioned to me that she can actually host a normal event without saying all this inappropriate stuff. So it's a bit weird why that she actually say all this weird stuff, right? But after all the criticism and everything, she actually toned it down and just host the event normally, which is what it's supposed to do. Okay, but yeah, nobody knows why. Okay, everybody was frustrated, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. Hope you guys get some insights, and congratulations to all the players who attended this event and won the Guinness World Records over here, everybody. Okay, thank you very much. As always, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, stay awesome, everybody, stay safe, and goodbye.